Divergent thinking is a thought process used to generate creative ideas by exploring many possible solutions. It typically occurs in a spontaneous, free-flowing, non-linear manner, such that many ideas are generated in an emergent cognitive fashion. Many possible solutions are explored in a short amount of time, and unexpected connections are drawn. Welcome to Minds in Formation. All right. I know you're fancy. I'm not fancy, though. Would you like a glass of bubbly?
You bought that for us?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to do that.
I always do it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But like I said, you're fancy. You're probably drinking Vouv. You probably got proper flutes. Not me. I have white wine glasses and Snoop Dogg's sparkling wine.
Hey, listen, that's great. I don't drink much champagne anymore, but I'm into Prosecco. Yeah, I'll drink it, absolutely.
Okay,
you didn't have to do that. I could have brought some. I brought my Perrier water.
Oh, that's all right. You're doing me a favor. You know, I know it's a little weird. I ask people to come over. I'm like, hey, you want to be on my podcast? And I'm like, I guess.
Tell me about your podcast. And so you've been doing it for how long? Why are you doing it? What's the purpose? What's the audience? What's the gig?
It's a hobby. I find it fun. I've always enjoyed a certain amount of creative pursuit, right? I did music before, I've dabbled in writing and different things. And for me, it feels creative and it flexes your muscle, and especially for me, as I've done this, I've realized that I've been able to work on my speaking and be more coherent, not use as many fillers and things like that. I'm still working on it, but it's just a project. I enjoy doing it, but also there's something special about just sitting down with someone for an hour uninterrupted, where we're not messing with our phones and texting people or getting interrupted by a server or by loud noises around. Because, how many times do you just sit and chat with someone for an extended period of time without being interrupted? It doesn't really happen that often.
Yeah, there's always a distraction of some sorts, and
Totally.
in the world of the phone, we just keep hitting that phone, don't we? I joined Toastmasters for about a year.
Jess told me about that. She told me it was really cool.
It's different. It's a bit structured. It's fun. You've got to have the right people there.
Sure.
But it's a very motivational, encouraging environment. If someone didn't do very well, because they count your ums, your your they count those, but they don't sort of go, look, you need to, it's areas of improvement. They're very positive in how they actually sort of reinforce where you can improve your speech and your delivery. Okay. It was actually really good. See, I just did an then.
I know.
It was really good, but it teaches you to slow down, enunciate, and I speak. I think like you, my brain goes so quickly that it just can't keep up.
Yeah.
So then I end up stuttering, mumbling, stumbling.
Me too.
Hence, this is a versional experience for me because I just don't do these.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things like anything that you can get better at. And so I had a show before this one. I think this will be episode like 12 or 13. Okay. So it's relatively new still. But I did a show before where I had like 75 episodes. And the difference between episode 1 and episode 75, because I listened to each one to give it a pass through.
Yeah.
Was vastly different. Episode 1 was horrendous, and not saying episode 75 was great, but it was much better than it used to be.
That's very cool. So what motivated you to want to do these sort of things, like to improve your public speaking, I guess, but were you just very shy or something? Was that the driver?
It's like I said, it's like self-improvement, flexing my brain. I also enjoy the editing process and kind of playing with some of the gear. Eventually I'd like to get better equipment and a better setup. I've worked in tech my whole life, so I kind of like that aspect of it as well. But yeah, just having, intimate's a funny word, but a one-on-one conversation, like I was saying.
Well, I know you fancy me.
I do.
So there is that.
Who wouldn't? That accent gets me going.
Gets me in trouble.
Girl loves a boy with an accent.
Oh, man. I get hassled so much.
Well, speaking of accent, right. I was wondering, give me like a 5-minute, what's your origin story? For the sake of those that might be listening, because everyone's going to assume you're from the UK or something like that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I'll do a trade. I will do that.
Okay.
If you promise with me to attempt to do 5 foreign accents each.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Have you? Are you good at them?
Nope.
I can't do an American accent at all. Like people ask me, I can do maybe a pathetic Southern drawl.
I can't wait for us to do Chinese.
Oh no. Yeah, because we got to. Yeah, okay.
This is going to be very offensive.
That's going to be. You're going to have to edit that out because people are going to get offended by it.
Editing things out is against my religion. One things I edit out is like a cough or somebody rings the doorbell and we got to press pause. Otherwise,
no Chinese. That's going to get us in trouble. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So origin.
Yeah. What's your story? Where'd you come from? Who are you?
And that's not an interview. This is just a little chat. Is it? Where are you from? Where are you from? So
yeah.
Well,
this is my only interview question.
Okay, that's fair enough. A lot of people think I'm from the UK.
Sure.
And playing pickle here, you meet a lot of people, and the minute you open your mouth, someone says, "So, where are you from? Australia?" And so I've had these conversations where I've gone, "No, definitely not Australian. You sound like an Australian. No, have you been to Australia?
Right.
No, yeah. Well, Australians, they got a whole different rule, but no one ever guesses where I'm from. So I was born and raised in Kenya, but it's an ex-British colony. So there are kind of two accents in Kenya, and I'm going to be very sort of baseline here. But when I have to tell people where I'm from, and they go, "You don't sound like an African," I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. So I have to give them the two accents. There's the British accent, which is what I'm speaking to you now with.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the Kenyan accent, which is, "It's very nice to meet you. How are you doing? I really like this setup with the microphones and the cameras." So I was like, so that's an African speaking English, which is fantastic. And so that's where the accent comes from. But I was educated in the UK for 5 years, lived there for 12 years. But yeah, I grew up in Kenya, born in Nairobi, and then left when I was 16. There was a military takeover there, and it got a bit dangerous. So my mum and I moved to the UK, where she still is, and spent 12 years in the UK. But I mean, I don't know, have you been to the UK? Yeah,
well,
you have.
Only passing through. I've never spent actual time there. To be honest, it was a 12-hour layover. So I went and saw a couple of things, went back to the airport. Okay. That was it.
It's a great place to visit. I really enjoy visiting the UK as a tourist now, but living there was not my favourite. So, and that's the basic background, yeah. So, born and raised in Africa, but no one ever guesses. And in fact, it's got to the point, it amuses me now. Well, half amuses me when I get asked constantly, "Where are you from?" It depends on the mood I'm in, determines my answer. So I try and deflect. I kind of do, the whole body language thing where you sort of go, "Well, yeah, I'm from overseas," and you turn away to get on with what you're doing, but they won't let you go. And they go, "No, but where are you from really?" You turn back again, you go, well, I'm from abroad. And then I turn away again to go play pickle. Yeah. Like, "No, but like your accent," like, oh, okay.
You should just start saying crazy stuff. Like, born and raised in Japan. Can't you tell?
Well, the funny thing is, yeah, exactly. The funny thing is, I was like, okay, well, this has gotten too far now. So I invented a country, which I haven't actually started to use yet because I've not been asked that many times. It depends on who's asking me. So I invented a country. It's called Babobia. And I'm from the western part of Babobia, which is because the eastern part is still under civil war, a lot of unrest there. Mm. And I waited for the person to ask me, "Babobia, honey, have we been to Babobia?" And they said, "Do you speak Babobia?" So I'll speak some Swahili to give them an example because they won't probably know what Swahili is. And then I wait for the last question is, where's Babobia? And I've decided to tell people that it's between New Zealand and Senegal. And just leave it at that.
That's perfect.
So I'm waiting for the reactions now when I actually say it, but I haven't had to use it yet.
I like it when, I'm sure you've experienced it, when you say something like that and someone's like, "Oh, yeah, I've heard it." And they just kind of go along with it, It's a common thing for people to do. They don't want to be ignorant, so they'll just kind of be like, "Yeah, sure, totally. I hear it's beautiful."
Yeah, it's kind of like a trick question almost.
Yeah.
And then the other thing which happens a lot is that when you tell people where you're from, it's wonderful when you hear them say, "Oh, yeah, I've been." But you then get this sort of 30-minute diatribe on their 3-week experience, and they won't ask you anything about your 16 years.
Right.
That kind of like, okay, excellent. But then I tend to ask a lot of questions. I'm not the most comfortable interviewee because I like to ask. I don't like to be asked.
Mm. Well, you're a private person. I already knew that about you. Is it just you just like to keep it that way? You don't really enjoy sharing personal details, or?
No, I mean, I don't think I'm so much private. It's really more about control and manipulation.
Got it. Pulling the strings. Puppet master. I like that.
I was trained in sales, and I was trained in the art of body language and psychology, and there's a whole psych behind a sales process. A lot of people don't give it the credit that it deserves, and I've ended up it's become part of me that I like to know. And I'm not because I'm nosy. I'm actually genuinely curious. I like to know about people, but it's about control. I think, yeah, it's always knowing more than you give away, and having the element of control and
keeping the ace up your sleeve, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, people. I was talking to John, and we were talking about that the other night, and I said that it's not. Generally speaking, I could persuade someone to do what I like them to do, not for nefarious purposes, obviously, but so I tried to get John to eat a peanut, and he would have done had it not been the fact I was holding it in my fingers. So, but there was a point behind the push. Yeah. What about you?
Which part?
Well, when it comes to asking questions or speaking or being private, where do you sit with that?
I'm an open book. I honestly don't have any issues talking about my personal life. I've made people uncomfortable by going a little bit overboard with it. But yeah, I'm a sharer, and that's just how I am. We could talk about money, we could talk about our past, we could talk about relationship history, and I'll just talk about it straight up. Sometimes those things make people uncomfortable, but for me, it doesn't. I think it's good to share. I think we're kind of meant to do that with each other, and even those taboo topics, like money's a big one. Like how much do you make, or like what's your 401k look like? And for me, if I'm talking about that with someone, it's not to be nosy or whatever. It's to like share knowledge and talk about strategy or whatever. Especially when it comes to investing and things like that, I like to get into those sort of things. So. Yeah, I have no issue divulging personal things about my life. Yeah, I like it. I think it brings people together too.
You've always been a very welcoming person. You've got a very natural, comfortable warmth about you, and I think people get the same with we play with cards. I mean, you can see that. But what's the most uncomfortable conversations you've ever had, and what's the most exhilarating ones you've ever had? If there's like one of each, if you can think.
Uncomfortable. I mean,
mental health, was it, or?
No, I don't mind that. Really, it would probably be times when I get put on the spot, and it would happen throughout my career where, see, in the military, you're forced into leadership. That's part of the system. You can't just be a follower. It's like move up or move out, right? And I got used to it over time. But when I was younger, they would just be like, hey, Cowden, you're the squad leader or whatever. And like, go start doing stuff or go brief the commander on this system or whatever we got going on. So when I was younger, those were very uncomfortable for me. And it took me a while to figure that out. And I actually give the military a lot of credit in helping me become more comfortable in my own skin and whatnot. It really helped me with anxiety overall in those interpersonal relationships or interactions, because I was not good at it at all when I was
shy
younger.
As a kid.
Yeah, I was pretty shy, pretty anxious. I didn't really know how to speak up for myself. I just kind of go along with whatever, just try to be the guy in the crowd. So it took me a while to learn that. So in my early days, yeah, those times when they'd be like, dude, go do this or go give a briefing in front of everybody, I'm sure my face would just turn red. My voice would probably start wavering, and you could just tell I was a nervous wreck. But I got better at it over time.
It doesn't come across now, certainly, yeah.
Yeah, it took some time, though. Definitely took some time.
So when it comes to the hardest kind of topic conversation and the best, the most exhilarating.
Yeah, the most exhilarating, honestly, it's probably been me and Jessica. We've had some wonderful conversations, and there have been times where we're just laying in bed or whatever. Maybe we've had some people over, we've had a couple of drinks, and it's late at night, and we just stay up for another 2 hours, and we're just talking about something wild. It might be the origin of the universe, or do we think aliens are out there, or who built the pyramids, or just something kind of wild, and we'll go down all these rabbit holes and just talk about what ifs. Yeah, I love those type of chats.
Yeah, I think you and I quite like. I like to go quite deep.
Yeah,
because part of it is it's almost a filter to find your peeps, for one thing.
It is.
I'm not a big surface kind of shallow conversation kind of person, so
I hate it.
You can do the weather and the what do you do for a living, but it's like I go to these network groups here, and the minute someone says to me, "So what do you do?" I'm like, "Can we just like, like." If it's almost like it's a transaction. If you're not looking for something that they sell or vice versa, then there's no point talking. Whereas I don't see it like that. So I tend to like conversations of depth, which gets me into trouble because people get uncomfortable, as you say, and people just don't like to go deep.
Yeah.
But then I don't want to go shallow.
Right. I'm the exact same way. That's why I developed that game, the platonic speed dating game.
Yeah.
It was ideally a way to fast forward through that shit. So you can skip the, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
How about that cold, blah, 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 like all that bullshit and a lot of times people won't get out of that. Yeah. Then you'll just see a couple of people just standing next to each other awkwardly. And I'm like, well, I guess they talked about the weather and that's it. That's all they got. So that was the whole point of that game, to say something like, what makes you who you are? Like when you wake up in the morning, what keeps you going? Like something.
Think of something a bit different to ask, and you'll get an interesting answer, and you'll engage more. You'll actually, it becomes a very good tool to work out like how someone thinks, whether they're one of your peeps. Do you connect? Is there any kind of a synergy there? That kind of thing. So yeah, I agree with that.
Totally.
I used to, when I talk about it's a story I tell everybody all the time, because when you're trained in the art of sales and human psyche and body language and physiognomy, etc., then I don't have conversations with people. Like, I'm not having a conversation just verbally with you. It's everything. It's energy, aura, micro expressions, macro expressions, how you're sitting, intonation, tonality, volume, and the verbal and the words. It's this whole process. And I don't know if you're an overthinker, are you? I am.
Big time.
Yeah, it's typical for overthinkers, and I overthink everything all the time.
Yeah, I drive myself crazy sometimes.
Yeah, it doesn't shut up, does it?
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
Does that give you problems sleeping? That's always kind of been a little bit of a thing for me.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
You have conversations with people that you haven't even seen to have the conversation with. I imagine stuff that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
I create scenarios that have no place being created because they haven't happened, nor will happen, or if they did happen, doesn't happen the way you just created it in your mind 10 hours earlier.
Right.
So, yeah, overthinking's hard. I can't stop it. I can't switch it off.
Yeah,
it drives me nuts.
Yeah. I wonder what that is. I remember Elon saying something about it, and love him or hate him, that's besides the point, but he said something about it when somebody was, it might have been on Rogan's podcast, but was asking him, or being jealous of him, talking about, it must be really nice to be you. You're in this position of power. And he kind of said something to what we're talking about. He's like, you have to be careful what you wish for, because like my brain is a very horrible place to be sometimes, because it never slows down. It's never quiet, and it drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's
well
put.
I know.
It's exhausting.
But
it's tiring and it's exhausting.
One of the good things, though, silver lining, is I do think it's a sign, at least to a certain level of intelligence.
Absolutely.
Yeah, your brain is cooking, and that comes in handy when you need it. When you need to get stuff done, and you got to roll up your sleeves.
Yeah.
When it sucks is when it's midnight and you got to get some rest and you can't snap out of it.
I mean, I call these sort of things superpowers, because it's like with autism or anything. Anyone that's got a spectrum base is measurable. I think we're all on a spectrum because let's be a start and a finish, but.
Yeah.
It's a superpower, so it's a blessing and a boon. So, like, overthinking is exhausting, but it gives you the benefit of being able to make better informed decisions sometimes. So, when you consider a situation or a problem and you look at it from all the angles because you overthink it, you have a different and a better perspective. So, I think perspective comes with overthinking.
Totally.
But it's how you use it, and it's to what purpose. And I think the other thing with overthinking is that you take on, I don't know, do you take on people's emotions? Do you feel everything?
Yes, I am very, what was it, empathetic? Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah, big time. There's a part of me that thinks that might have, my mom had something to do with that too. I don't know if it was just the way I was, but when I was young, she probably divulged a little bit too much to me, and I was her sounding board at too young of an age.
Yeah.
Because I was mature. I was mature as a young child or whatever, or I matured early, whatever. So she would telling me about her issues, tell me about her problems, and I guess I was a good listener. But I think that might have had something to do with it. At least that's what my therapist said at one point in time. that I'm overly concerned with how everyone else feels, and I'm always trying to make sure everyone's okay. And I mean, if I feel like I hurt someone's feelings, it's like devastating to me. So
Doesn't
yeah.
the military deaden that a bit? Doesn't that help sort of harden up a little bit? Or
To a degree, I think it helped me balance it out to a
Okay.
degree. But also, at the same time, in the military, or at least in the Army, every branch is a little bit different. But servant leadership is a big philosophy in the Army. So it's not about you, it's about your juniors. It's about the guys that are following you. And that's kind of pounded in from the get-go. Like, you don't matter. The guys that are you're telling what to do, they matter.
do you think people from the I'm going into lots of different topics here, but do you
Yeah.
think people that have come from a military background would make better leaders in business
It depends. Not always. Because,
because of that servant theory?
well, no, not that. I think that is good to a degree. I think that can probably be utilized well, because if your people respect you and they believe that you have their best interests in mind, I think they will row a lot harder for you. But at the same time, not all leaders in the military are created equal, because, as I said, they kind of push it on you, and many times a lot of people move up that maybe shouldn't. They just kind of hang out long enough to move out.
Yeah.
So there's a wide array of quality when it comes to military leadership.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you were accomplished and successful in your military career, and I wonder how difficult that was, being an overthinker, being sensitive, coming from a background of anxiety, how that helped and didn't help when it came to leading a platoon of...
Yeah. What I found, and I kind of stumbled across it, but for the first 8 or 9 years of my military career, I just did very conventional forces, boring, wasting your time type of shit, which that's a lot of military life, is just hanging out in case something happens or in case someone needs your unit to do something.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of wasted time. You're just training, you're doing whatever. But I stumbled into this recruiting briefing where these people were talking about all kinds of cool guy things, special operations, stuff like that. But they couldn't really tell us exactly what it was. They're like, trust me, this is going to be really cool if you qualify. And I volunteered and I went through the process. I screened and went through the process and I got picked up. And that completely changed my life, to be honest, because then I went to an organization that was doing things that were cutting edge. And we were working hard, but we were working hard for a reason. We had like important things to get done, like stuff that really mattered. Whereas, again, in the previous experience that I had, it didn't seem like anything mattered. So that in that way, it was huge for me. Being able to dive in head first, I think that's where I shine, with some pressure that like this has to be done. All of our missions were no-fail missions. Like, you cannot mess up. It's not acceptable. And I shined in that environment. So with someone putting the heat on a little bit, I actually do better. Left to my own devices, I can kind of fall into a little bit of a lackadaisical
Procrastinate a bit.
behavior. Yeah, exactly. So I kind of need somebody to kick me in the ass a little bit, or at least it's helpful. I mean, I've learned to, do that on my own now, but initially I needed someone else to put the pressure on, and it made me realize like what I was capable of.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as you and I mean, we've known each other a little bit now. We've had interesting conversations. And as you get older, it's kind of like I worry more. I didn't used to worry as much when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about stress. I think my stress levels have always been about the same, which is typically high. And I'm not sure if that's a product of overthinking. But things like hyper-focus, things like not giving a shit so much anymore. Like, I used to care so much what people thought of me. It's the people pleaser side that you alluded to. Are you okay? Are they okay? Make sure they're taking on their problems, taking on their feelings, feeling what they're feeling. And although I just still do that a lot, I don't give a shit as much anymore. That's maybe a product of Asian, but it takes hard work.
Yeah.
And it's also, like I said, it predicates upon the fact that when you when you're trained in the art of sales, so giving it the thing that I tell people all the time, my little story, is that the psychology of sales is such that you want to try and get an angle for one thing. So when I was in London, I was trained by Canon, and it was B2B in the 80s, pre-internet, door-to-door, cold calling, hardcore, frontline. And it was painful. I mean, it was tons of rejection, tons of shit talking. It was hard, and there was very competitive spaces as well. So I was in the working for Canon, so they had all their product lines, and
as in like printers and
it was
shit,
copiers, printers,
cameras,
faxes,
maybe, or I don't know.
No, more document filing. Yeah, they do. Yeah, document filing systems as well. Then it got to color photocopies. They were launched, and it then became computers. And anyway, you'd hit up a client, and they've had 7 other people that week in the same business from different companies hit them up. And so the key was to get the meeting. So there's an art to getting a meeting. There's an art to, they call it the art of manipulation, which there's always such a negative connotation with manipulation. Now they say it's the art of persuasion, but really manipulation doesn't have to be a bad word. It's just that people associate it with a nefarious, objective, but it's not. So the trick was how do you persuade someone to buy something that they already have one, don't want another one, don't really care about it, but creating an edge. And there was so much competition out there that I went through this sort of, I don't know if it's naive or not, but I had this thought process in my head that I'm thinking, well, there's a few things I've learned about the English. So if I come to America and I go to a bar, you'll always have someone talk to you, hey man, how you doing? Can't do the accent, you see. You can talk about money, say, yeah, I just made $1 million last. It's very open. You have great open conversations in America. Yeah. But in England, you don't do that. Like, it's already, gosh, we don't talk about that. Money? Well, that's none of your business, is it? Sex? What is this thing you speak of? Right. We can't discuss that. So there was this conservative element where they don't sort of, like if you had a disability, they wouldn't go, in America, say, hey man, what's up with you? We don't talk about that.
Yeah, like where'd your hand go?
Yeah, it's like, he hasn't got a hand, but we'll talk about it. So I decided to try and capitalize on that. Because I was going to meetings, like I said, it was competitive. So I decided that the British, they don't ask these sort of awkward questions. It's that conservative kind of private approach. So I bought an eye patch. Then I started going to meetings with an eye patch on, because I figured there's a number of outcomes. One is that they're going to remember me. Oh, that was the guy with the eye patch. Number 2 is they're not going to ask me, so I don't have to mumble my way through as to why I have an eye patch, because they're British, like, poor fella didn't have an eye, I didn't want to ask him. And maybe they feel sorry for me, like, oh, he's only got one eye.
Yeah, poor
should
dude.
give him the deal.
Yeah.
So I did that for a few weeks, but the problem is, have you ever had an eye patch on for a length of time?
No, but I can imagine it would very much strain your eyes and probably fuck you up a little bit.
Your depth perception is completely out of whack. Like if you try driving with one eye, everything's your depth. So I started getting dizzy, and so I had to move the eye patch a little bit to let the light in so that I didn't get dizzy. But the problem was I was staring at, I was in front of someone, I was going. And eventually I got called out. But that was the point about sort of the art of. But any trick you can find to try and get the upper hand, even down to, when you train people to make phone calls, cold calling, like stand on your desk, because you're pumped, you're standing up, your voice will change, your delivery will change, your whole intonation changes. You also know that the guy you're trying to talk to, who's a CEO of a big company, and you're trying to get a meeting with him, if you physically stand above somebody, you have that automatic element of some sort of inner power. So you know that if you're standing on your desk and you're all pumped up, you're going to be looking down upon the CEO in your mind. So there's all these sort of little things, like doing cold calls. I make the team do 20 press-ups, get their adrenaline moving, get them all pumped up, because their voice changes, the whole delivery changes. They become, yeah. It's kind of like Wall Street, but not quite as hectic.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know if I would be good at that. We've had these discussions at work about sales, and I'm sure I could learn it, but I don't think I'm not naturally inclined to try to talk someone into something. So
you got me sitting here.
Well, but you just said yes. I didn't have to talk you into it.
But it was the way you didn't talk me into it that talked me into it.
Hey, maybe that's the key then.
It's funny.
Because I'm the type to be like, hey, do you want to buy this phone? If you
Yeah.
say no, I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Maybe somebody else wants to buy the phone. I'll be on my way, you know.
That's funny. So you don't think you're cut out for sales, really?
I'm sure I could figure it out, but I mean, I've already been doing the same work I've been doing for 22 years now, so
Yeah.
I can't really see a reason to learn it at this point in time. I mean, ideally, I'm just trying to get a few more things in order. I don't really have an exact timeline, but get a few more things in order, keep investing, and as long as everything doesn't crash, I would like to be able to shift gears into more passion projects and less, job activity.
Tell us about your investing, but in an Australian accent.
Oi, mate. So you're going to take, this is going to sound really stupid. You're going to take all your loot after you're done throwing them shrimps on the barbie, and you're going to put it all in the S&P 500, mate.
That's pretty good.
That just sound like shit.
Actually, it's pretty shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it is.
So tell me about your investing then. So you into stocks, crypt?
All of it. Yeah. All of the above. Crypto's been bad lately.
Yeah.
It's been real bad.
It's tanked a lot.
Yeah. It's tanked big time. So I try to spread out, but overall, it's probably on the riskier side because, it's crypto and tech heavy. So
Is that what you invest in? So you stocks and crypto?
Yep. More so stocks. Like I do crypto, but it's probably only 5 to 10% of my total portfolio.
Okay.
Just because I feel that whether this is really, really a thing, like a thing that's going to exist in perpetuity, is undecided at this point.
Really?
I think, I believe it's going to go somewhere, but there are powers that don't want it to go somewhere, and they are powerful. These big investing firms and traditional banks or whatever, I think they're probably pushing back on crypto. So, I don't know how that is all going to play out. And even just talking to people in general around town, they'll be like, oh, crypto, Bitcoin, it's not real. And then I'll come back with, well, money's not real either. But if you believe in it, it is real. It's all just numbers on a computer.
That's true.
So what does that even mean? That it's all TBD. But it's hard for me to say, like, is Bitcoin going to be $1 million in 10 years? Maybe, maybe not. And that's very difficult for me to predict. Whereas if I just go S&P 500 and tech, I feel like I can kind of see where that stuff is going with a little bit more confidence, I guess we'll put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big subject. And in Australia, mate, bloody sleuth. I'll tell you what. Never mind.
He got a dingo coin.
Bloody dingoes, mate. Yeah, they could trade dingoes on the stock exchange over there. Bloody marvellous, mate.
Yeah, there you
bloody
go.
Great, yeah. Yeah, I mean, these subjects are all kind of biggish subjects. I mean, the crypto market, we're all experts. Well, no, we're not experts. But we've all got our opinions, and you spoke about a minute ago about whether you think is it going to take off, is it going to be a thing? I mean, I find it astounding that it hit $125,000 for a big. I mean, that's just astounding.
That's crazy.
You've got multi-millionaires made out of kids when they're 15 thought, oh, this is kind of cool. Mind if you left it on a hard drive and they're worth 100 million. But then you look at BlackRock's and Vanguard and all the big boys out there, and the amount of investing in crypto by those top tier firms, particularly those two companies because they're so well known, and then all this advent of digital currency coming out, the push that we're going to be eventually a cashless society, which is going to happen.
Yeah. So
what's it replaced with? It's a digital currency, and blockchain becomes very relevant in that regard. So I don't know. How do you? So when you go stock hunting, how do you determine a stock to go for? So you're very good at reading the P&Ls. You go to all the financials. You go to the annual reports.
To a certain degree, and it's easier now with AI because it can help summarize a lot of that information, and you can tell your AI whatever flavor that you like, to kind of rack and stack things and make projections or whatever. So that's helped.
We are not giving financial advice. It's what the AI guy says to me all the time.
Correct. Always at the end.
Is it a guy or a girl?
I don't know. I guess they're gender neutral.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, it's a they.
It's a they.
Yeah. But no, I do try to think about just trends in general and like what is going on with right now. It's relatively simple. If you put any money in anything to do with AI and tech, it seems to be just only going up, outside of loosey-goosey startups or whatever. I tried weed stocks for the longest time. I thought weed stocks were going to take off, and I tried this years ago, and it never worked. When states first started legalizing, and these companies started to show up, and there would be excitement around it initially. If a new state, legalized medical or recreational, they would pop, but never really went anywhere. But I just try to look at where we're heading. Does this have staying power? Because I'm typically a long-term holder. I don't do like day trading and a lot of short-term stuff. If I buy something, I always tell people...
Is staying power something you can still maintain at your age?
It depends. Have I been drinking?
I threw you off course thing on.
Yeah. But I don't buy anything unless I'm willing to hold it for at least 5 years.
Yeah.
So I don't buy like unknown or bullshit fucking penny stocks or stuff like that for the most part. Every once in a while I'll gamble a little here and there. But if I'm not willing to hold it 5 years, then it's really not worth being in my portfolio.
And don't invest what you can't afford to lose.
100%. Because you never know when that next crash is coming.
Yeah.
People are always saying it's coming, but they say that all the time. So, we'll see how that goes. And I don't even know how you predict those types of things. I see YouTube videos and stuff, and it's like, sell everything. It's coming. 2026 is the year of the crash. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing.
An opinion. You've got people that do about faces 180 degrees from 6 months earlier for having said X, they'll now say Y, and it's completely the opposite. So I think predictions, I'm not an expert, but historical analysis, trends, sure, I get it. I get, macro trends as well as micro trends. I understand that there's patterns involved. People talk about Fibonacci's, the sequences being part of how you can predict. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it because you just can't predict. You cannot predict.
No.
And so when you go when you go out there and you start, you take a coin or you take a stock and you put it out there, and you get feedback from what you consider the top 20 or 30, say experts, if you like. Mm-hmm. It's so varied.
Oh yeah.
That you're just stabbing in the dark.
Totally. And I think you have to be careful of the experts or any of these investment columns or whatever, because I think a lot of them are just pump and dump schemes,
Yeah.
They're just trying to get excitement around a certain thing because them and their homeboys are in that, and if they can pump it up enough, then they can all cash out and you took our advice, but it was all self-interest.
Changing subject. If you were to ask a really awkward question that you think is one that you wouldn't want to be asked yourself, what would that be?
An awkward question that I would not want to be asked?
Yeah, but you would want to ask someone.
See, I don't have a lot of off-limits topics myself.
Really? But the fact you said not a lot of would suggest that you have at least one.
I mean, nothing comes to mind. It's more of a know your audience type thing. Like there's certain things I'll talk about with my friends that I'm not going to have the same conversation, Joe Schmo on the street. But sure. If I know you, like with our relationship, I can't think of anything that you could ask me that would, make me shy away. Nothing comes to mind.
That's an excellent answer, and I think you make a fantastic politician.
Yeah. Answer the question without answering the question.
You absolutely said an awful lot and didn't quite address it, but you said enough to address it, and I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. That's the name of the game.
It is.
Maybe I should run.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my next move.
So tell me your podcast, and I'm asking you questions. So you had a show of 75 or so shows, so if that's the right terminology. Episodes, right. And then you've reinvented yourself into what you're doing now. What's the difference between the two? And how's this one going?
Yeah, so this podcast is, this iteration, Minds in Formation, is much more fun for me, more of just like a passion project thing where the content is subjective. It's really just people talking. Maybe some episodes are good, maybe some episodes are bad. I don't really care that much. For me, it's about our interaction right now, and it's just having the chat, and we talk about whatever. And I just like that. Again, just sitting down and chatting with someone for a bit. Whereas the first time I did the same thing, but then I think I was starting to think of like being business minded and networking and hey, maybe I can turn this into something. So I started networking with people around town and, you know, different entrepreneurs and realtors. And I had a lot of interesting people on the show, but the conversations were not that exciting. And I found that a lot of these folks in those circles, you know, like, I don't know if you've ever gone to like an entrepreneur meetup or a group, or, you know, everyone just wants to give their pitch or give you a commercial. And that's what people wanted to come on the show for. And I didn't like that aspect of it because the conversations were no longer interesting. It'd be some chick talking about how she sells fucking essential oils or something. And I'm like, dude, literally no one cares about this. This is the most horrific conversation I've ever had. So I just cut it, you know, deleted it, took it offline. I was like, that's enough. Didn't do anything for about a year and a half, and then started thinking about it, especially once I stopped doing the meetup. I was like, okay, I want the interaction. I like the conversation thing. So I was like, okay, I'm going to start it back up, but I'm just going to do it the way I want to do it and not think about who's listening or what it could turn into.
No agenda, essentially.
Yeah, it's just, it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, I find, so, I mean, as an overthinker sitting here, I've got a black monstrous thing stuck in near my mouth. I'm being looked at by a camera with a, and it's constantly, it's there. Like it's a different conversation maybe had it not been in front. I mentioned this this online conference production that I was a part of, and I fought against it. I really didn't want to do it. It just wasn't my thing. But we had to select one of a number of questions, and it was business related, it's all to being a CEO, right? And I ended up, most of mine was talking about vulnerability, because, as you say, a lot of the pitches you get, it's all the flowery gump. So people, I want to run my own business and be a CEO. Yeah, and I felt that at one point too, until I did it, and I'm like, well, it's actually not that glorious.
Not all it's cracked up to be.
It's hard work. There's a lot of responsibility. When you're starting off in a small company, you wear different hats. If you've got a bigger company and you've got staff under you, now managing managers to manage staff, and that becomes its own thing. So there's nothing very glorious of it. It's not easy, and I think people gloss over that. And so this interview I did was it was a 40-minute session. And I just spoke on vulnerability, all the hard things that go into running a company, how it affects your mental health, how it affects your family, how it sort of invades every part of your life running a business, and quite often negative. Because it's great to run a business, be successful, have money, but at the expense and the cost of what? And the vulnerability side is that, you know, I went through my own mental health crisis, and it was awful, probably the hardest thing I've ever done. And I've had a lot of stuff happen. My family, in their health situation, is a huge one. But being vulnerable, I've now realised I weaponized it, if I can say that, to be military like.
Yeah.
So I can, like, you know, it's now just a really great tool to determine who are your peeps, to filter out people, because people don't like to be vulnerable.
No.
So when you put it on the table, and this interview was literally vulnerability. I had one person contact me and say that was great, which I was surprised at, but because I don't like interviewing. But yeah, it's a really powerful tool to just say, look, so how are you today? Yeah, I'm having a bad mental health day today. I'm not feeling myself. And you watch the person's reaction. You register all the reactions on their, you know, from the tone, the angle of their head, their eyes, you know, and it's quite a good weapon or tool to figure out, okay, yeah, we're not a person of depth, really, are we? Or if we are, you're not comfortable going there.
Yeah. It's funny how that works. I mean, I think you nailed it. That's a good tool to kind of gauge things. But getting close with people is easier said than done. There's two cheat codes, though. There's two cheat codes that you can kind of fast forward in a relationship. One is maybe better than the other, just from a health perspective, but doing something difficult with someone, whatever that may be. It could be your workout partner. You know, of course, in the military, there's a lot of those instances where you do something crazy and you kind of look around to the dudes to your left and right, and you're like, holy shit, I can't believe we just did that. And there's a bond there that gets formed that you can't really recreate. But another one, like I said, maybe the not so healthy one, is partying with people. When you really kind of let it loose, you have maybe too many drinks, and that
All the inhibitions.
the normal presentation of Daryl and Matt is like out the window, and now
Yeah.
it's this raw, uninhibited, vulnerable version of you that might be a little crazy in the moment, but there is something that happens when you're just out getting hammered with your buddies that really creates a significant bond. Like I said, not necessarily the healthiest way to go about things, but it is
Yeah,
a
but it's
way.
on the spot, isn't it? It puts you out there on the spot, and you kind of forces the issue. Because I mean, I'm not advocating alcohol's a great tool from which to form relationships.
Right, of course.
But on the flip side, yeah, people need to drop their guards, drop their barriers down. And alcohol, drinking, having a few drinks helps that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, because
interesting.
I think, a lot of people are kind of walking around with this presentation of who they think they're supposed to
Yeah.
be. Everyone's wearing a mask to a certain degree.
Do
and
you?
it's difficult to take the mask off. I try not to.
Are you today?
I don't think so. No, I think this is pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. This is Matt.
Great politician. Vote for me.
I know, right?
Yeah.
If I thought that there was something that I could do to help, I probably would get involved in the government. But it seems like just an incredible cesspool that doesn't get anything done. And this side hates that side and vice versa. And it seems like a horrible system to get involved in. If I thought I could do some real good work, I would probably consider trying to get involved in it. But I don't think you can actually get anything done. I think it's a trap. It's captured. That system is its own thing. People think they can make a change. Dude, you can't.
True.
You can't.
There's two conversations I stay away from with people for the most part, unless I really know you.
Yeah.
Politics and religion.
Yeah.
They're no-fly zones.
You want some more?
Sure.
It's not the best.
This is lovely. Thank you. Definitely method champenoise from France.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, brother.
Yeah. Voila.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that those topics are off limits because they probably should be discussed more, but people can't seem to do it, especially this day and age, especially with politics. There's very little room for healthy debate if somebody is on the other side of the aisle. It seems like it just gets kind of crazy right away and there's no compromise. So, like I said, it's almost like a waste of time. But the religion thing, I don't think people necessarily need to discuss like religion, like mine versus yours, Christianity versus Judaism or anything like that, but just spirituality in general. I think it would behoove people to test those waters out and do some self-exploration on their own and think about what that actually means to them. And it doesn't have to be an organized religion. It can be anything, but I think that's something that is lacking in our society. Everything just seems material and surface level, but that's not what we actually are. We're complex, spiritual, social creatures that I think it's good to explore. It's good to explore what could be, what does all this mean? Where do we come from? I think those are important questions.
I think that's interesting questions, and I think there's the science behind it. I think there's the psychology behind it. I keep saying the word psychology tonight, but there's something to it, absolutely, and there has to be something to it. And so I've got some religious friends, and that's cool, and they're good people, and I don't really care. I don't judge. Just don't force your stuff on me.
Right.
Let me breathe. But sadly, sometimes religion breeds zealots, and they don't let you breathe. And
Yep.
I had this conversation with someone recently where I was at dinner with the family and my daughter, had the service dog with her, and she had some medication on the table, and we're looking to administer some medication because it's not often they go out for dinner. It's too difficult, just to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady came up and very religious and wanted to pet the dog, and we kept saying this, he's working. If you don't mind, please don't. But eventually she said 2 or 3 times, well, I'll pray for you. And it got to the point I'm like, thank you, but that's not necessary. We'd rather you didn't, because I'm not a religious man, and it just got a bit out of hand. I mean, it got to the point where, look, do you mind, like, it's getting to the point of being rude now. Well, I'm going to pray for you anyway. Well, as my daughter said, whatever floats your boat. So I've got this couple that I know really well here in Springs. They're super, super nice people, very religious, and it came up in conversation, and he made some comments about heaven and hell and his version of the God that he believes in. That if you don't, you're almost a heathen. There's a barbarianism to you if you don't subscribe to that religion or that persuasion, you won't be saved. Mm. And my point to him, and we ended up, work cut in the way, so we had to end the conversation, but I was sort of said to him, well, I understand your position, I understand that you have your faith in your religion, and I'm having to discuss about religion with you, but what about my religion? He says, well, you just said you're not religious. I says, but that's not true. My religion is that I'm not religious. That is my religion. So if you find it offensive if I blaspheme or say something inappropriate that you don't think is appropriate given your religion, don't you think you denying me that is blasphemous to me for my religion?
Right.
So telling me, well, I think if you don't believe in God, then I think you're going to be, well, actually, now you're being rude. You're not actually accepting the fact that my religion is I don't have one. Mm-hmm. And it just sparked this kind of interesting chat about it. We didn't get very far in the conversation because work cut in, but...
Yeah, and that's the negative part about it. Excuse me. Got a frog in my throat.
What's the negative part about it in an Irish accent?
Oh, I don't know if I can even attempt that one.
We'll both do it together. Okay, go on. Try it now. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on religion. Oh, that's tough.
Is that a tough one?
Yeah, I'm not an accent guy, but...
Well, you promised to do 5. You've tried 2.
That's 2. So we got 3 more to go throughout the duration.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, that's the issue with it, though, is that essentially every one of them thinks they're right. Like, and this is the only way. And if you're not with us, you're against us.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because I believe that everyone that has any sort of spiritual pursuit, like, we're all kind of looking for the same thing. So I think it's just different sides. It's like a multi-side coin. That's not real, right? A coin has 2 sides. But if a coin or a die, right? Maybe that's a better example. But I think they're all grasping towards the same thing. It's just almost like it's in a different language. But it's just searching for the question. This is like,
what? Because of fear of death,
or like, why am I here? What does this mean? I think everybody wants to know that to at least a certain degree. So having a religion is comforting, because you can just say, "Hey, Jesus, take the wheel. You're in charge, and I'm just along for the ride, and
sure.
I'll see you at the end of the tunnel." And it gives people a lot of comfort, which I understand.
I think that's right. I think it gives people faith, and when they have faith in something that can't honestly be explained. There's arguments to or for that. I'm not here to debate that, but you notice in poorer countries having faith in something, because when you're struggling, when you're going through some hardship, to have faith in something, in my opinion, is sort of ethereal. It gives you some kind of strength. It gives you some support, and it's also a great community. I think there's a lot of positives to it. I just think to what degree it's pushed out there and portrayed, but it wasn't to have a theological debate, because I try and avoid those. But it was just sort of a point to mention. And I particularly enjoyed your Irish accent. I'm not sure. I can't work out where in Australia you were from, and I have no idea where in Ireland you might be hailing from.
The middle, both of them, smack dab in the middle.
As on the fence, as you said earlier, like you answered the question without really saying anything.
Exactly.
That kind of in the middle.
Yep.
So, one thing I'm finding interesting about this experience right now is I'm not relaxed.
No?
No.
You still feel a little...
I've got this big black thing in front of my face, and I just...
Again, you should be used to it.
Just because I'm from Africa, there's no need to be like this.
Yeah, I thought they were real open-minded down there.
They're not open-minded, but not open-minded, no. Again, overthinking. We're going around in a lot of discussions here, but it's just, I'm sitting here going, just relax, but I find it hard to relax. Like,
Do you have that in general in life, though? Are you a little anxious in general?
well, I don't normally have microphones in front of me.
Sure.
You could have chosen a different color.
But I mean, if you're like out in town or whatever, I mean, you don't have issues talking with people and navigating
No.
them. I mean, I know you don't like big crowds and whatnot.
No, I don't. No, it's just something, don't know, I guess you have to get used to it. Like when you said you first started out doing your podcasts, from the first episode to the 75th, you could see the difference between the two.
Yeah.
This is so alien to me.
Yeah.
Like I admire people that get up on stage. I admire people that can stand up in an auditorium or in a conference room and just speak, and they pause well, they make eye contact, they enunciate well, they're articulate. And I know you're very articulate, and I know I am as well. But put me in a situation like this, and and dribble comes down here, and it's like, I admire people that can do it. So I find I'm sitting here with this thing going, I can't ignore it.
Yeah, it's very funny because if I were to close this laptop, move the camera and the microphone, we would just continue talking.
Yeah.
But instantly you would feel better because maybe is it the fact that people are going to listen to it? Yeah.
Partly, because then you think, oh, I think I said something stupid earlier, or that didn't sound right, or I mumbled that word.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to think I'm a moron. And then I go, but what do I care? I don't know who they are. But then, but.
Yeah.
And then you.
Well, maybe you just got to lean into the not caring part. It's like we were talking about earlier. You know, that's something that I've developed over time as well. I used to be very concerned with my image and what people thought of me. And I don't think I really did any deep work to get rid of that. It just seemed to happen naturally. Where now I'm in a state where I'm like, I don't give a fuck. It's take it or leave it. And I don't really care either way. It doesn't bother me. If you think I'm a weirdo, cool, dude. Go for it.
Until you develop some kind of a feeling for that person, then you start to care. If you like that person, then you're going to start to care what they
Sure, yeah. If someone you have a relationship with and they've got an issue with what you got going on, yeah, 100%. But strangers, or even like coworkers, or people that are not that important to me, makes no difference. You might think I'm great. You might think I'm a piece of shit. Doesn't matter. Also, wise words. I do not know who said it, but what other people think of me is none of my business.
It's very smart.
Yep.
That's very true.
Yep.
Words that I learnt in Cayman when I moved there was, I still use it to this day, my best effort. Choose your friends wisely, don't let your friends choose you.
Yeah. 100%. It's critical. I had a random conversation with a dude, is like at the gas station or something. We were just chatting for a minute, and he's like, oh, he actually apologized. He's like, sorry, I'm just like talking to you like you're my best friend. I was like, it's cool, man. I'm here for it. I love this stuff. But forgot where I was going with that.
That's a sign of old age.
I know it. Lost it.
That's all right.
I
Well,
can't
we're
remember.
talking about having random conversations, and no, we weren't. Now you've made me think. Forget about it.
I know.
All right, I'll throw another question at you.
Yeah, totally.
If you could wave a magic wand, what would you ideally be doing right now? What would you ideally see yourself doing in 5 years? Where would you live? What would your lifestyle be? What would your work be? Would you be working? Would it be philanthropy? What?
Yeah. I think for me, I've realized that I have a few things that I need to keep my soul happy.
Okay.
It's a good group of people,
Yeah.
good friends, good relationships. That's critical. That's number one.
We're social animals.
Yep. And number two is purpose. I need some sort of purpose. It doesn't have to be a job. It could be serving the community. It could be volunteer work. It could be leading people. It could be anything, but some form of purpose. And it needs to be more than just the family, because the family is kind of the easy button, right? Like everyone has that. Like, yeah, being a father, being a husband, that's good. But you need more than that. You need more purpose than that, I think. So something that you can be engaged in that's motivating, that makes you feel like your life is worthwhile. I think that's really critical for just overall human happiness.
Do you have that now?
Yeah, yeah. To a degree, I would like. Honestly,
You're
I'd
getting married. I know that your relationship is hugely strong,
Mm-hmm.
but take that out of the equation.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like more purpose, because I go back to what I was saying earlier when I went to this, cool special operations unit or whatever.
Yeah.
That was kind of the highest form of purpose I had ever experienced before. And it's difficult to emulate that, because it it was impactful and you're surrounded by the best people, literally the best, because only the best make it to that place. So it is just this very unique experience where you feel that what you do matters and the people to your left and right have your back. And that's hard to find. That's a difficult thing. But I love the idea of tribe, a tribe that works together, that is cohesive. It doesn't have to be military stuff. I love the idea of even thinking about hunter-gatherers, and there are times where I think that might be a better life than what we have now with this plastic and staring at fucking screens and bullshit, and everything that's in our society that maybe is not good for the spirit, probably is bad for it. But yeah, it's just community and purpose. That's all I need. I could be anywhere. I could be doing anything, but if I can check those two boxes, I'll be good.
Would you ever run your own business?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely thought of it, but
Because that gives you purpose.
Sure. I've definitely kicked around the idea, but honestly, I don't know what it would be. I don't know what my thing to tackle would be. Like, what would be the problem that I want to solve? I've done it on small scales, even doing the meetup thing. That was a small scale version of exercising that because I think that community is important and I wanted to foster it for others and build tribe, build community. So I love the idea of it being somewhere in that ballpark, but I don't know what that would mean as a business.
You're in the midst of a tech boom for yourself. That is, like, you're in this division
Mm-hmm.
doing something that's actually really engaging.
Yeah.
You're tech savvy. It sounds like you enjoy it if it's the right environment, the right group set.
Yep.
Is that not something you could translate to a business?
Maybe, but again, I don't know how. Because I'm a doer, I'm a good technician. I'm a good worker, and I'm a good planner as well. I can figure things out. But if you ask me, like, again, like, what problem do you want to solve? What hole are you going to fill? No pun intended. I don't know what it would be. I don't have anything. Nothing comes to mind. Be like, I think I could tackle this. I could do it better. I could solve this problem and sell it back to everyone. I got nothing. I don't have any ideas for what that would be.
You didn't say the word leader in that.
Yeah, I mean, leader is great, but again, leading what?
You don't see yourself as a leader?
I think I can be a good leader.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, in what that exactly shakes out to be, I'm also very picky too. So sometimes I'm not a good leader because if you're on my team and I'm your boss and you're shitty, I just want to get rid of you. I don't want to develop you. I don't want to be your mentor. I just want to hire someone who's a rock star. Then we're good to go. I'm not a good babysitter. Even sometimes as a parent, I've realized that I have a fault in that I am not a good teacher. I don't think nobody wants me to be their mentor, I don't think, because I would not do a very good job. I just expect you to know everything and do it. And if you can't, then I'm like, well, you're worthless to me.
You've always come across as quite a humble person. Do you always remember where you come from?
I try to, yeah. Yeah, I try to. I have some times where I think I have a little bit of an issue with a small superiority complex.
Explain that.
Well, so many people are disappointing. And I don't think I'm that special. I don't think I'm that amazing. I think I'm normal. But so many people...
Well, you don't, because you know you're an overthinker and you've already assimilated that to being someone of higher intelligence than most, which is not inaccurate, by the way. The study's been done on that.
Yeah, true. But I also work hard to keep my ego in check.
Okay.
And so I think of myself as normal Joe Schmo. That's just... And for me, that's useful to think of myself that way.
Sure.
But like that superiority thing does creep in sometimes because it could be a work environment, a social environment, or whatever. Certain things, I'm just like,
give me an example.
people just show you who they are, and they lift their skirt up a little bit, and you realize like, oh man, you're not it. You're not the dude. And unfortunately, most people are not the dude. Many people are just mediocre.
But why is that superiority, therefore?
Well,
how can you qualify personal taste and your
because
own filtering system into therefore superiority and therefore negative? Are you judgmental in your superiority?
A little bit, because when I see that, I just be like, I'll run circles around you, and I can't help it. That thought creeps in, and be like, I could do such a better job than you.
So how do you feel when people can run circles around you?
I love it. I absolutely
you love them
it.
being superior to you.
Yes, I love it. I look up to those guys.
It's a bit of a juxtaposition, that, isn't it?
It is. But those are the people that I love the most. Especially in male relationships. I love a dude that is super smart, super capable, super strong, like just checks all the boxes. And I want that guy to be my friend. It's almost like you want to surround yourself with the people that you want to be like, you know?
Is that what you do?
I try to, but those guys are hard to find.
How do you find them? I mean, outside of the obvious like networking groups, but like, is it a work thing?
Sometimes.
Let me rephrase that question. It's a stupid question. Do you have criteria that you look for in someone automatically, and then they need to meet it?
To a degree. I mean, I have wiggle room. I'm not so rigid or so judgmental, you know, that it's that it's crazy.
Do you feel superior to me?
No.
Why not?
I think you're super smart and super capable, and I think what you've done throughout your life, like, is something that I look up to. Someone that has kind of figured it out.
So I should feel superior to you.
Maybe. Maybe.
Is it because I always win at poker whenever I come around?
That is a part of it, and I really hate it.
I always win at poker. I don't know why either. I'm not that good a player, but I've always come out on top.
Yeah, you're just a son of a bitch.
So I remember where I came from with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a social animal. I agree with you. We are built to be social. We're not islands. We shouldn't be. Not developed for that.
Mm-hmm.
I take out all the societal, institutional norms and pressures that we have to subjugate ourselves to. Marriage is one, for example. But I'm not knocking it. But I'm simply saying that we are social animals. And I've been here 3 years, and it has been a heck of a journey trying to make friends. Because for every 20 people I meet, one might be a peep.
Yep.
And that peep's then got to develop into a peep.
Yep.
And I have to say thank you to you, genuinely. I don't know what it was. Came to one of your meetup groups, befriending, and I don't know what it was, but suddenly I find myself invited here. I like, you took me under your wing.
But I was fascinated with you.
I was grateful for that. I was like astonished, and your background and what you've done, and just the fact you were doing this speed friend, it was such a brilliant event. I mean, I don't forget that.
Well,
I've ended up meeting John out of that. Kirsten and I become quite good friends, but like, you're just fucking awesome in every way. And when I tell people back in Cayman, I tell friends here that my military crew, I call them, and every time I talk about you, your virtues are extolled. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass. I'm not trying to have sex with you.
Damn.
But I know. But maybe later, another glass of wine. But that's the humbling part of it, is I always remember where I come from. And I think, yeah, superiority, that's a fun... But you see, I think that's related to what you said about this ability to overthink, this superpower that you have.
Yeah.
I've got friends in Cayman who are... One's ADHD, very much so. But there is a superiority about him. He sees things differently. He can calculate things differently mentally. He sees things differently, period. And that gives him this edge, and that creates a superiority, because no one can quite match up to where he is. And it's not because I think he's trying to be superior. I think he just wants to find people that he can relate to. And in doing that, people are automatically subjugated to him because they just don't meet that expectation set.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a part of it. So when you talked about overthinking and the relevance to intelligence, it's kind of an organic superiority, but without the negative version of what superiority really means.
Right.
Because we don't want to be superior, and we don't want to feel inferior.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's more like word manipulation. It's like it's got a negative connotation where, in fact, just take the word as it is. It's actually not negative. It depends how it's applied, right?
Yeah, exactly. And maybe in this context, maybe superior is not the right word, like I really do try not to be judgmental. It's difficult. It's difficult playing this game, this dance, this social dance that everyone does. And really at the end of the day, you got to have a strong filter, which I do, and there's only certain people, like I meet a lot of people.
Sure.
And there's a lot of people that I have to cut off. When I was doing a lot of events, the word would kind of get around that I would have parties and I'd have shindigs, and there'd be certain people that I would invite to my house, and the word would kind of get out, and people would come up to me and ask me, how come I don't ever get invited to
Do
your
you know why?
private parties? Why?
Well, I'm asking you. It wasn't rhetoric necessarily, but
Like why people would
do you know why they're asking? Sorry, the question wasn't rhetorical, but it was.
yeah, because they want to be in the circle. They look at that as the cool kids or something, and they feel left out
No,
or
because
something.
they want to be in your circle.
Yeah,
You have that draw, you know that.
I guess people tell me that. I don't fully understand it.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. I know that people like me naturally for the most part, but I think of myself as just a white trash kid that used to live in a trailer park. So I don't know, honestly. Sometimes I don't know what people see in me. And it's not that I'm like fishing for compliments or that I have low self-esteem. I don't. I feel good about myself, but I don't fully understand what people see when they look at me and they're drawn to me. I don't know what it is that I'm doing.
Has anyone ever tried to tell you or told you?
No, not really. I don't think so.
Would you like me to try?
Sure.
Would you get a big head?
I'll try not to. I already got my superiority complex, so you might just feed into it. But
So I know we are our own worst critics.
yeah,
Okay. So how we see ourselves is not how others see you.
totally.
And slight sidebar is, I did it a few times when I went through my depression, which I never fully got out of, to be honest. But at one part during the midst of it, I started to do something experimental with myself, and it was in Cayman. I'd have people telling me, "You're good company. You're funny. You're engaging. You're good company. Conversation's not boring with you." Blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah. And so I thought I should go out for a drink with myself. I should take myself out for a drink, like me and me, and have a conversation with myself quietly in my own head at a bar on my own, with me, and just take myself out on my own date, but obviously non-sexual. Well, it could be sexual.
Yeah, maybe later,
Maybe later, yeah, when things develop. Because I wanted to try and understand what it meant by people. People say I'm good company, but I don't see it, because we're our own hard taskmasters, right?
Definitely.
And it was that's a sidebar. So I did it a few times. It felt weird, but I'm like, yeah. Like I talked to the bartender and would joke, and I think, look at myself talking to him as a third party, and go, yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, he's kind of engaging. So you ever seen Graham Norton?
No.
Oh, anyway. There's something about Mary, who is a film. You have this quality about you that's calming, almost a quiet man. Like when we play poker, you're very calming, solid presence. You give out an aura of just being stable, reliable, dependable, like a rock, like a pillar. Matt is just a decent, good guy. You're warmth. You're someone of warmth. You're comfortable to talk to, not with this thing stuck in my face.
You'll get used to it.
You did an Indian impression, then you went.
Yeah, totally.
Go on then. Indian impression.
Keep it going. What are you talking about?
So you have this ability to make people feel comfortable, and you're very engaging. And part of that is that you're a regular listener. That you you listen, you do engage, you've got good eye contact. There's nothing threatening about you.
Mm.
And I think people are drawn to. I was drawn to you because you just seemed like a really good person that had of high intellect, high intelligence that was you can connect with. You foster connections. People want to connect with you because they know that they're connecting with something that's interesting, good, deep, spiritual, smart, funny, engaging, authentic. And I know it's pretty hard to describe this in words. Like, I think the English language fails people.
Yeah.
And as articulate as we can be, it's hard to describe a feeling or to answer that question as I'd want to answer it. But yeah, you draw people in. People want to be around you because you give off a really good vibe. You've got a really good aura about you.
So you're saying I should start a cult? It would be a hit.
I think that's what I'm saying. Absolutely, yes. And,
Yeah.
yes, call it yes, yes, a cult. So I think that's partly what it is. I think people want to be around you. People want to. There's something magnetic about how you present, and I think it's because you are just put together. You are whatever you've been through in your life has molded you into what you are now, and that magnetism comes through many ways. For me, it's you highly engaging. You actually do listen and look. You look at me in the eye when you're talking to me. You're not distracted.
Right.
You ask good questions. You have great responses, and you've got a very solid head on your shoulders.
Well, I appreciate it. It's
hard to put it. It's really hard to explain it, but that's. I genuinely tell people, yeah, this guy Matt, just an awesome human being.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely appreciate it, but it still is funny because, I just. Again, I don't think of myself as anything special at all. I'm just a dude, and just a dude trying to get by, just doing my best.
But that also contradicts your statement about having feelings of superiority if you don't think of that special.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it very much is a contradiction, because the superiority thing, it only comes in certain interactions, And again, maybe that's not the right word. It's maybe just more being disappointed. Because I have high expectations and high standards for people. And unfortunately, most people just don't meet them. It doesn't mean I'm going to be mean to them or anything like that, but most people don't meet it.
How many people in your life do you have that meet that?
It's a very small number.
I know Jess does.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Take Jess out of the equation.
Well.
5, 2, 15.
Well, we'll put it this way. I've got a lot of friends and a lot of people that I look up to, but people that I'm truly close with. I mean, I wasn't kidding when I said we're having this wedding coming up and there might be 50 people there. 45 of them are coming from Jessica. The number that's coming from my side is very small. Yeah, it's I have a difficult time finding people that I can really connect with on a deeper level. I've got a million acquaintances. I've only got a couple of friends.
So what does it take to connect with you on a deeper level?
Effort.
What are you actually looking for? What is it really? How do you know you're connected?
I think it's just you just know. It's just one of those things where a relationship is seamless, where you don't even have to think about it. When I'm with my best friend Ken, I don't overthink anything. Being in his presence makes that voice in my head turn off. I don't have to think about anything.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't worry about any sort of judgment. I don't second guess anything I say. I just can 100% be myself, and I know that he's got my back no matter what. And hopefully I provide the same to him. But it's difficult to get to that level. Again, I got a ton of buddies, but just a couple of friends. And that's okay. I'm not saying that as like somebody feels sorry for me. It's just the way it is. Maybe I should be less picky and loosen up my standards a little bit, but I can't.
Do you get used?
No, I make sure people don't. Yeah. I'll allow myself to be used a little bit to a certain degree because I'm accommodating and I'm nice and polite. So I'll let myself get pulled around to a certain degree, but there's a limit. And it's not that high. If I get a feeling that things are going the wrong way, at this point in my life, now I'll shut it down quick. I wasn't always like that. I mean, especially in my first marriage, it was brutal. And, that lady was a nightmare, but I hadn't found my confidence yet. I hadn't found who I was yet. So I would allow myself to get in situations that at this point in my life, I would never allow, but I hadn't learned how to do it yet.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It is.
I mean, expectations is one thing. They're really hard to meet. In fact, that sucks that you have expectations, frankly.
Yeah.
And I wish so much sometimes that I was just dumb and stupid.
I know.
Because what I don't know
easier.
doesn't fucking hurt, and therefore it's like, I've met some people in life that just like nothing bothers them.
Yeah.
And the worst people, not the worst, but the people I don't get the most are those that are just constantly positive. Like, why are you so fucking happy? Can't you just be pissed off at least a bit more?
Yeah, because it seems like something's weird is going on.
Yeah.
If someone's just always super optimistic and chipper and happy,
Yeah.
like something doesn't feel right. You taking Valium all the time, or like, how are you this cool all the time? Yeah.
Or you're just of a shallowness such that it allows you to just exist at that level, and you don't think about the shit that we would think about. Therefore, it doesn't bother you if you don't think about it because you don't know it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's attractive to be stupider, because I torture myself, and it could get bad sometimes, but it's hard. I don't know how to turn it off, and I've done all the things. I've done therapy and yoga and meditation and all the different things, and practice this stuff, and I've gotten a little bit better at managing it, but there's still this overactive and hypercritical voice in the back of my mind. But I try to use it to my advantage.
Do you cry much?
Not really. Once in a while, random things will get me. And a lot of times it's family stuff. I'll see a video of like a dad with his daughter, and I'll be like, So I'm sentimental in that way. I'll just see something that's beautiful, and, it'll get me. But no, not really, And really it's family stuff. That's the stuff that'll get me. Like, I've had some struggles even with my kids. There was a period where one of my sons lived with his mom and barely spoke to him, and that was very difficult for me. But I also try to just be like, it's the old adage, it is what it is. There's only so much that you can control, so you just have to roll with the punches as best you can. Yeah.
This roughly an hour or so.
Mm-hmm.
For my own edification, how did this go compared to the others that you've done? Like, I have no point of reference as to whether I'm an arsehole or not on these things.
No, this is amazing. I would say.
Well, you're not going to say it's shit, are you?
No, I'll tell you straight up. I try not to sugarcoat things too much.
Okay, so don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
How is this?
No, this is good because we're talking about real things, and ultimately, these are the conversations that I like to have. It's like when we started it off, like the shallow shit is so boring. This is much more fascinating to me, to talk about like what it means to be you and what is actually going on inside of your head. I love having talks like that.
Me too.
And if you want to sit here and ask me like what my favorite TV show is, I'm like, oh my God, shoot me in the face. Like, I don't want to talk about it. So to answer your question, this is going great.
Why would someone watch this?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Would you watch this?
I think I would. I don't know if I would watch it, but I'd listen to it. But when I ingest podcasts, it's audio anyways. I don't really watch podcasts or talk shows, but I listen to them in the car. I love it. I love the conversation aspect. There's a few different podcasts that I like, especially on a long drive if we're going snowboarding or something. It's very engaging, and I can stay tuned in, and it almost makes you feel like you're in the room. Whereas if I listen to an audiobook, I can't keep on track. I lose it. And then I kind of snap out of it 5 or 10 minutes later. I'm like, I don't know what is going on. I don't know what we're talking about. But in a conversation, I can stay locked in and absorb the whole thing.
I'm from a different era. This is alien to me. Pre-internet.
Are you not a podcast guy, or you don't listen to them?
No. Never have.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's alien to me. It's the same as, I don't know, I grew up outside.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already addicted to my phone. That's bad enough.
Sure.
I'm now addicted to Netflix. That's bad enough.
Yeah.
You know, it's the quick fix, instant gratification monkey shit that I've got myself into, that habit, and I can't break out of it, which pisses me off in itself.
What do you like to listen to in the car? Music?
Your podcasts.
Hey, there we go.
Is that a good answer?
Yeah, you'll be my number one fan.
Yeah. No, I I listen to music. Mostly just my own little soundtrack of music. It's just a few disco kind of stuff that I grew up in the 70s with, but quite often nothing.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help my overthinking, because then I think about. That's the worst part about overthinking, is that you know you're an overthinker if you start to think about thinking, and if you start to talk about thinking about thinking, or think about talking about thinking.
I know it.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
It's just, that's it. You know you're in that. You've hit that rabbit hole, and you've just dug another one.
It's just self-torture.
It sucks. Yeah.
Maybe you should try it. Maybe I'll also, if I think about it, as they come up, I'll send one to you. Do you use Spotify? No. What do you use to listen to music?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, either way, I'll send you a link or two if I come across an interesting show that I think you might like. I like just for fun shows from time to time where people are just talking about random shit. But there's also some health ones that I like. This neuroscientist, Andrew Huberman, he has a good show, and he's always talking about different health practices, developing good habits, or even just food and stuff, or supplementation. But I like some of those, or there's a couple finance shows that are good where people are just kind of breaking down what's going on in the market. So it's sometimes it's like news and education, but in a conversation format.
So I don't know how much time you want or have left, but I want to ask you if you play a quick game.
Sure, let's do it.
A stupid game.
You want some more?
I'm okay, 'cause I've got to drive.
Okay.
Because you mustn't drink and drive.
Allegedly.
It's dangerous out there, everybody listening.
At least until you get that self-driving car, huh?
Yeah, that's another story. Yeah. So, I want you to choose a subject of interest, and then we're going to have a conversation on that subject. But the first word of that sentence has to be the letter contiguous to the ones that we start with. So first one has to be A, B, C, D. So you would say the first sentence is A, I'll go my response, or our conversation, that'll be B. So the first word has to start with that letter.
Okay, so we have to pick a subject first, though?
Yeah, got to find a subject, and we've got to have a conversation about it. And you can't just go yes or oh. You can sometimes, but you've got to actually have a conversation.
Okay.
And the reason I like doing it is it's quite interesting to see how your mind works. You can spot creativity, you can spot that front cortex kicking in, logic. You can see how fast someone thinks. I don't know, you just spot a lot of things when you do that.
Okay.
You ever done it?
I have not. So, but I guess just because if we're following the alphabet, the sentence may not make perfect sense because if you have to follow the rules.
So if the subject is gardening, I might start by saying, absolutely hate gardening. I've never liked it.
Oh, but you can. Oh, so you don't have to just say one word.
No, it's not a word association thing. No, it's just it's having a conversation, but the first word has to start with that letter.
Okay, so let's do the topic is
something that you like.
The universe.
Yeah. Okay.
It's big.
It's a big.
And
yeah, literally.
It's infinitely large, and we can't even comprehend it.
Okay. Well, you start with the letter A then.
A. Astronomy is just scratching the surface of what we actually know about the universe.
But how do you relate astronomy to the universe? Is that like a definitive relationship? Isn't the universe sort of more an umbrella term than astronomy? That's just a part of it.
It's tough.
You've slowed the conversation down now. It
did.
has gotten tough, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Speed of thought. Speed of reaction.
Well, because I want the sentence to be a good sentence, so I don't want to just spit out something random.
Say something like complete fucking bullshit could be your answer, but you can say whatever you like. Just got to begin. The first word's got to begin with that letter. So C.
Yeah. Can't you see that astronomy is attempting to understand something that is not understandable?
Doobies.
Nice.
Have you had a couple of doobies before we've had this conversation tonight? Because that's the kind of answer I'd expect if you had one.
Edibles, maybe, not doobies.
Fuck with your head edibles, they really do. They fuck with mine. I mean, the universe as a subject, as a big subject, literally and metaphorically speaking.
What do we want, G?
Yeah.
Go try and understand it. I challenge you.
How do dialectics fit in to the universe?
I don't know what dialectics are.
Oh, starts with I. It's pretty good. Jesus, I'm impressed with that answer. That's my answer.
See, this is where I'm not that smart. I have to say the ABCs in my head to see what's next. Just so you know, I've literally never heard the word dialectics. I think you made it up.
Kidding aside. Take opposites. So and it's not a true definition, but take opposites, for example. So for heaven to exist, there has to be hell. For good to exist, there must be bad. Light must be dark. Because one cannot exist without the other. So if you just had dark, there would be no light because there's nothing, it doesn't mean anything then. So therefore, what part do you think that might play when it comes to your subject matter of the universe, or just even the smaller subject of astronomy? You're an L.
Look, I just work here. This is, again, something that is incomprehensible. The vastness is truly insane. We can't even imagine getting across the Milky Way, let alone even thinking about another galaxy. It's insane.
Man buns. Did the universe speak to you and say to you, I'm going to have a man bun?
Nope.
Oh, well, it was a good try. I tried to deflect.
Papa always said, don't ask a man about his haircut.
Really? Why not? Oh, no. I'm on cue.
No,
You said Papa, didn't you? I went to R. You said Papa, right?
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I'm not sure whether your father had the authority to say that to you, but, well, authority being your father only, but...
Really? You're going to talk shit about my dad now?
Superficially, maybe, but not on a level of depth. And we've gone off the subject of the universe, frankly. And the letter U is coming up shortly, so that's going to be a good starting point.
This has gotten off the rails. We are completely off topic. What do we do now?
Universe. Get back on subject.
Very good. I like it.
Why they pay me the big bucks? That's why I'm sitting here.
X-rays exist in space. Maybe we could talk about that.
You know something? You've sped up as the letters have gotten through this. Further down this process, you've actually sped up this conversation.
Zebras taught me how to do it.
It's a funny exercise. It's kind of amusing.
It is. It is a little challenging. Yeah, the ABCs, it's funny. I have to almost sing the song in my head. So that if I ever get pulled over for DUI and they say start from this letter and do the ABCs or do it backwards, I could be
screwed.
sober,
Yeah.
like I just woke up and I'll probably fuck that one up.
I find the other one I do, because I have a couple of friends that I chat to, when we came in, and we're like, I'll just do it for the fuck of it. And the word association one is always quite funny because you start off with word association. And again, it's another good one because it goes on forever, obviously. But again, it shows you how their mind works, and invariably gets sexual, but it goes sexual. It cannot help it.
Yeah.
So if you've got time for a quick one of those, you got time?
Let's do it. Let's do it, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, okay. So I'll start.
Okay.
Garden.
Wait a minute, I forgot the rules.
So the rules are the last word that's said, the next word has to be associated to that last word. So I could go garden, you can go tree.
Okay.
And I could go bird.
Okay.
So I'll start another one. Universe.
Stars.
Eyes. They're in your eyes.
Body parts.
Penises.
Boobies.
Boats.
Hose.
What's a buoy got to do with a penis?
A buoy?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
A buoy is a thing that you put on the boat tie.
No, I said booby.
Oh, booby.
Yeah.
Oh.
English.
Oh, booby. Bird.
Eagle.
Eye.
Sky.
Blue.
Color.
Purple.
Pimp.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Ho, ho, ho.
Santa Claus.
Gifts.
Christmas tree.
Yuletide.
Jewish people? Is that Jewish?
Hanukkah.
Yeah, there we go. Israel.
Star. We've had star, can't say that again. Hebrew.
Language.
Swear words. Swearing.
Naughty.
Spank.
Butt cheeks.
Cleft.
Hoof.
I mean, how fucking puerile is this? I mean, seriously. Hoof. Camel. Don't say toe.
Toe.
No, you were
have
going to go
to.
say toe. You had to say toe, didn't you?
Yeah, you got to.
Nail.
Bite.
Me.
You.
I?
Me. Or no.
Oh, you can't say that.
Us.
Marriage.
Divorce.
That's not a good word to say in this. You're about to get married. You can't say that as your immediate because of word association.
Hey, man. You
Divorce. Split. Don't say cheeks. See, you automatically, we go back. we're looking for where can I get a sexual word into it?
Yeah. I'm just waiting to say vag. Check.
Cheeks in check.
Well, you said split.
Oh, did I? Was that last one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Split. Check. Money.
Deposit.
Withdrawal.
Bank.
Oh, didn't go there. Interest.
Date.
What?
Date.
Date.
Mm-hmm.
Prune.
Slut.
What's a prune got to do with this?
It's the opposite.
A prune?
You said prune?
Yeah, you said date, right?
Yeah.
And I said prune.
Oh, I thought you said prude.
No, prune. That's just, I speak English.
Okay. Yeah. The
Within-
King's language.
King's language, yes.
Yeah. Prude or prune?
Prune.
Tangerine.
Who?
Tangerine.
Peel.
Skin.
Foreskin. Straight out.
Wiener.
Hot dog.
Glizzy.
What?
Glizzy.
What the fuck is glizzy? What the hell is that?
Glizzy's like a fake word for hot dog. The kids say it. You know?
Never
It also
heard of
means
it.
gun.
Oh, does it?
Mhm.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
Riz.
Skibbity toilet.
Poo.
Pee.
Wee.
Them.
That's pretty good. Pronoun.
He.
Laugh.
Cry.
Tears.
Joy.
Happiness.
Sadness.
Laughter.
Devastation.
Destruction.
Regrowth.
Regrowth. Birth.
Death.
Coffin. Coffin.
Womb.
Do you have a lisp?
Hmm?
Oh, was it womb or room?
Womb.
So we had a lisp.
yeah. I'm in third glass, so.
Uterus.
Bladder.
Urine.
What's the word? Fetish.
I mean, the way your mind works, The things I'm learning about you, I'm learning far more in the last 10 minutes.
I'm a little creep.
That's funny. What was the last word you just said?
Fetish.
Feet.
I don't want to go too far.
Well, you started it.
OnlyFans.
Internet.
Porn.
Star. Oh no, we had star already. Male.
Female.
Titties.
Vagina.
I knew you were going to say that. I actually said it in my head that I went, he's going to say vag. I know he's going to say it, and he did. Vertical.
Horizontal.
Lie.
Truth.
Hurts.
Pleasure.
Pain.
Comfort.
Hug.
Punch. I don't know if I'm playing right.
You
I'm
have,
just
yeah,
trying to
you
go
are,
for
but
opposites.
there's a violent... You are, aren't you? Yeah. But you have a violent streak to you. I'm saying these nice words. You go, punch. Like hug, punch, fist. Don't go there. Don't go there.
Stretch.
Mark.
Baby.
Crying.
Shouting.
Screaming.
Rage.
Horniness. Bit quite off. Yeah, not quite sure that there's a fit there, but
Asexual.
sexual.
Abstinent.
Abstinent. Empty.
Full.
Glass.
Cup.
Sperm.
Bank.
Good job.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's
That's
funny.
quite funny how you do, like you pick up stuff, right? You do.
Yeah. I do go opposites though. Like I was always trying to think of the converse of what.
Is that
whatever
because it
you-
was easy to do that?
It's just a connection my brain made faster, you know. Instead of doing a relation, it was easier to get to opposite.
So I do the opposite. That's quite logical. That's really quite logical, I think. Whereas I'm like thinking immediately of what's associated with that word.
Yeah. And maybe I was cheating. Maybe that's not how you're supposed to do
No,
it.
because I mean, I thought you know, Campbell toe. I mean, it was expected at some point. You know, we
course.
knew that was going to come out.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be a
Yeah.
shame if it didn't.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely, Daryl. This has been a pleasure. I mean, podcast aside.
You've got the serious voice on now.
Yeah, I got to. I got to,
right. It's
you know,
the
got to
wrap up.
put my radio voice back on.
It's the
you know?
wrap. Yes.
But in all seriousness, you know, podcast aside, I've had a lovely time talking to you. So I
Yeah,
do
me
appreciate
too.
you coming over and taking time out of your day.
You're more than welcome. And do I send the invoice to?
Jessica, she'll take care of it. You know, she's my wife slash secretary. So
Wife to be / third. Yeah.
yeah.
No, thank you. That was kind of weirdly interesting. It was weirdly exciting.
Yeah,
It
because
was-
again, when I don't know if you do this normally in your life, but when was the last time you just sat down uninterrupted for an hour and a half and talked about whatever?
Never.
Yeah, it's rare.
But if we didn't have this stuff around us, then it wouldn't have been uninterrupted. This has made it uninterrupted.
Right.
Otherwise, it'd been, just yeah.
Yeah, I got to text somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, Jess is here or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
like
Whereas I've actually sat here, and this has completely taken over from any distractions I've got. So I think this has
forces
actually
it.
made the difference. Yeah, it does.
yeah, it forces it.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I like about it.
I never thought about it until I just said it.
Yeah.
It was like a realization.
Yeah.
To the point where during some parts of that, some of the conversation before and then part of the game was I'd forgotten this was here,
That's
which is
whole
the key.
ideal. Yeah, that's the ideal version, which I understand it's foreign to you, but for me,
Yeah.
like, you know, I've done a few reps.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
You've done a few reps.
Building those muscles.
Yeah. Well, thank you, bud. That was enjoyable.
Absolutely, Daryl. Anytime. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure. Thanks for listening, everyone. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the show out. See you next time.